Hi, I'm here to teach you how to make baked ziti. But first, let me tell you some nutritional values. First, the actual ziti is low in total fats, 0 in trans fats, and 0 in cholesterol. It's high in protein to help you stay full longer, which actually will help you when you try to with weight loss. It's rich in vitamin B6 and high in carbs to store energy. Also, the tomato sauce that you'll be using is high in potassium, high in vitamin A, C, iron, and also B6. The cheeses that we'll be using are also high in vitamin A, and that could be used very beneficial for good vision, and also has a lot of calcium for good bone structure. The egg that we'll be using is also low in fats, and it's a good source of protein. Alright, so here are these are all the ingredients that we'll be using for our recipe. So a box of pasta, Parmesan cheese, we'll be using salt, pepper, a jar of any type of sauce that you really like, particularly marinara sauce, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, onion powder, and garlic powder. Alright, step 1 is to boil a large pot of salted water. Okay, now that our pasta bowl is nice and boiled up, we're going to add our pasta completely and let it cook to al dente. Okay, now we're going to start making our spices mix with the egg and the cheeses. First, we're going to crack an egg and make it nice and mixed with the salt and pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder first. We're going to do about a half a teaspoon of both the onion powder and the garlic powder. And then we're going to go ahead and get our ricotta cheese. Put it in the whole jar. Next, we're going to take our mozzarella cheese, and we're going to save about a half a cup for at the end before we bake it into the oven so that we can sprinkle on top above our sauce. Otherwise, put the rest of the pound in. Okay, once we get the ricotta cheese, the egg, and the seasonings, along with the mozzarella cheese, we want to gradually add in a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And mix thoroughly. Okay, now that our pasta is finished, we're going to have to drain it. And a key thing, it's a little secret that my mom likes to do, is to make sure that the pasta isn't quite al dente. It's actually a little bit harder because when we put it in the oven, it'll actually cook thoroughly. The reason for that is because you really don't want to overcook pasta. It'll really ruin the dish. And just to get it just right, with that extra time in the oven, will make it taste perfect. Right. Okay, so now that we drained our pasta, we're going to add it to our mix with the cheeses and the spices. Now we're going to make sure that this gets thoroughly mixed completely, making sure every noodle gets covered with cheese. Now you want to be careful when you mix it so you don't really break apart the pasta, and just kind of take your time and cover it all with the cheese. Okay, now that our pasta is nicely mixed with our cheese, we're going to want to spread our marinara sauce to cover the entire bottom of our tray. You don't want to use all of it quite yet. You just want to fill it just so it's completely covered. Next, we're going to want to add our pasta and cheese. Make sure it's covering the entire tray. And just kind of make sure it all gets covered. And then we're going to add the rest of our sauce from the jar. Just kind of sprinkle it over. It doesn't need to be completely covered. And then we're going to add the half a cup of mozzarella cheese sprinkled across. And that's it. And then we're going to bake it in the oven at 350 for approximately 50 minutes.